The government announces Tribunal of Inquiry into the Dunnes Stores payments affair. The office of the DPP is to issue an annual report beginning in June. Full-scale talks at the Labour Court, 4 days left to the nurses' strike. Good evening. The government is to set up a tribunal of inquiry into the allegations of payments by Dunnes Stores to politicians and political parties. The investigation is to be carried out by Mr. Justice Brian McCracken of the High Court. A motion setting out the terms of reference for the tribunal will be put before the Dáil tomorrow. The decision was made at a cabinet meeting tonight, which considered the report of Judge Gerard Buchanan's preliminary investigation into the Dunnes affair. And we are joined now from Leinster House by our political editor, Donal Kelly. Donal, do we know yet what the terms of reference of the inquiry will be?
No, we don't, and the Cabinet was still considering the detailed terms of reference for the inquiry as we came on the air, and indeed we probably won't know the exact terms until the motion goes before the Dáil tomorrow morning. What we do know, however, is that Mr. Justice Brian McCracken will inquire into claims of alleged payments by Dunnes Stores to members of the House of the Oireachtas, their relatives and connected persons, as well as payments to the political parties. Now, it's not yet clear how far back in time this tribunal will range, but one source told me tonight it could be around 10 years from the end of last year.
Well, the Buchanan report was handed over only yesterday. Why has the government moved so quickly?
Well, Judge Buchanan had very limited powers, which confined him to examining a report by Price Waterhouse on certain bank transactions by or on behalf of Dunnes Stores. And as a result, the judge was unable to determine the destination, as his report revealed, of around £3.5 million in payments from those bank accounts. The McCracken Tribunal, on the other hand, will have all the powers of a court of law to compel witnesses, and that would include Ben Dunne, obviously, to attend and to require the delivery of all relevant documents, financial or otherwise.
And does tonight's announcement mean that effectively the Buchanan inquiry has been wound up?
No, it doesn't apparently, because he'll continue to cull the Price Waterhouse report in the light of allegations of payments by Dunnes to public servants and local politicians. And then when he produces his report, the tribunal, if it thinks necessary to carry on those investigations, will take account of that report and examine whatever Judge Buchanan in that investigation of local politicians and public servants has brought to light.
Donal, thank you for that. In the tribunal, the key witness will be Ben Dunne. Tonight, Mr. Dunne is reported to be in the Caribbean, but he's keeping in touch with developments here. Opposition leaders had been pressing the government for the tribunal. Our special correspondent Charlie Bird was outside Leinster House tonight.
In mid-December, the PD leader Mary Harney urged the government to set up a tribunal to investigate the Dunnes Stores payments to politicians affair. Tonight she welcomed the move.
I'm delighted. I think it's about time. It's a pity we've lost 2 months, because I think Irish politics and public life have been damaged in the process. I think the public will be very happy now that there's going to be an independent tribunal to examine payments by Dunnes Stores to people in public life, and nothing less would have been acceptable to the public.
Now, the key issue is that people want to hear from Ben Dunne. He, after all, is the key person, isn't that right?
Yes, and he will have to come before the tribunal because it will have the same powers as a court of law. And I believe the reservations that were expressed in the Buchanan report in relation to indemnity will not arise in the context of a tribunal, and this was the only route that could have got the truth. And it's about time that the government have agreed to set up this tribunal, and it's a pity they didn't do it 2 months ago. But I very much welcome the decision this evening of the government to proceed with the establishment of a tribunal. I hope that it will be a tribunal similar to the hepatitis C one, which has been run very efficiently by Justice Finlay, and I hope it's the same kind of tribunal we have here.
In his interim report, retired Judge Gerard Buchanan said he was unable to see the affidavit sworn by Mr. Dunne, which is said can shed light on the identity of a former Fianna Fáil minister who is reputed to have received over £1 million from Mr. Dunne. Judge Buchanan says Dunnes Stores confirmed the existence of the affidavit, but said its contents couldn't be revealed, as that would be contempt of court. So can this tribunal get the full facts?
The short answer is yes, because the Tribunal of Inquiry will have the same powers as the High Court, and I don't see any reason why, assuming these documents are relevant, why the Tribunal shouldn't have the same powers and exercise the same powers as the High Court, and that means that this document can be produced.
The key witness for this tribunal will certainly be businessman Ben Dunn. Tonight, Mr. Dunn is said to be in the Caribbean and being kept fully informed of all developments at home.
Talks on the nurses' pay dispute have been